Namaste. Mero Naam Andiho. Sabhaijana Sanchai Hunuhuncha. Hello, my name is Andy. How are you? Let's talk about the Nepali language.
Khas Bhasa.
Nepali is the official language of Nepal, and the common tongue that lets a country of 124 mother tongues talk to itself. It belongs to the Eastern Pahari branch of Indo Aryan, descends through Sanskrit, Prakrit, and Apabhramsha, and is written in Devanagari. Its roots run deeper than most summaries suggest. The oldest inscription, usually credited to the language at Dulu dialect, dates to about 981 CE, and the language took shape between the 10th and 14th centuries in the Sinja Valley, seat of the old Khasa Kingdom. For most of that history, it went by other names: Khas Kura, the speech of the Khas people, and Kura, the speech of the hills. After Prithvi Narayan Shah's conquest bought the Kathmandu Valley under Gorkha rule in 1768, it became Gorkha Bhasa, the language of the courts, the bureaucracy, and eventually the schools. The name Nepali only became official in 1933, and the old anthem still said Gorkhali until 1951. Today, roughly 19 million people speak it natively, with millions more using it as a second language. Inside Nepal, the mother tongue of about 45% and an additional language for another 46%. Along the way, the grammar sheds the elaborate case system of its older ancestors, while the literature took off, most famously with Bhanubhakta Acharya's Ramayana, which put the epic into plain, singable Nepali. Nepal's population is the product of two long migrations meeting in the middle: Tibetan movement south across the Himalayas, Indo Aryan settlement north out of the Gangetic Plain. The 2021 census counted 142 caste and ethnic groups. Kshatris are the largest at 16.45%, followed by Hill Brahmins at 11.29%, with Magars, Tharus, and Tamangs each between 5 and 7. Geography sorts them roughly: Khas Arya communities across the hills, Tharu and other indigenous groups in the Terai lowlands to the south, and Tibeto-Burman peoples through the mid-hills and high valleys, Gurungs, Magars, Tamangs, Rais, Limbus, and the Sherpas of the Solokhumbu, whose name became shorthands for Himalayan mountaineering. Magars, Gurungs, Rais, and Limbus have supplied Gorkha regiments for 2 centuries. In the Kathmandu Valley, the Newars built the urban culture the rest of the country's cities grew out of: merchants, metal workers, wood carvers, and a religious life where Hindu and Buddhist practice are hard to pull apart. What holds it together is less a shared origin than a shared set of habits, village obligation, ritual calendar, and a landscape that shapes everyone who lives in it. The blurring of Hindu and Buddhist practice runs through Nepali culture generally. Swayambhu draws worshippers of both to the same steps. The Newar temple style, brick, carved wooden struts and windows, roofs stacked in diminishing tiers, is the country's most recognizable signature, and it traveled. In the 1260s, the Newar artist Araniko led 80 craftsmen to Tibet and then to Kublai Khan's court, where he built the white dagoba that still stands in Beijing. Nepalis often go further and say the pagoda itself began here before spreading across Asia, though the claim is national tradition more than settled history. The calendar is crowded, more than 50 festivals a year by the usual reckoning. Dashing runs 15 days for Durga's defeat of the buffalo demon. Tihar spans 5 with lamps in the windows and garlands for crows, dogs, cows, and oxen, and Bhaktapur pulls chariots through its streets for Biska Jatra at New Year. Food is anchored by dal bhat, eaten twice daily by most of the country. Daura Suruwal for men and the Gunyotolo for women still appear wherever ceremony calls for them, and the crafts have held on. Pauba scroll painting, the woodwork on old valley houses, the dampu drum driving a tamang salo. Squeezed between India on 3 sides and Tibet to the north, Nepal is a country that goes almost straight up. You can start the morning in flat, humid jungle, where rhinos and tigers still live, and by evening, be looking at ice walls 8 kilometers high. 8 of the world's 14 tallest mountains are here, Sagarmatha aka Mount Everest included, and more than half the population lives nowhere near them. Down on the southern plains, growing rice. Nepal was never colonized, which is rare in the region and something Nepalis will mention. It's the birthplace of the Buddha at Lumbini in the western Tarai, and it was the world's last Hindu kingdom until 2008, when the monarchy was voted out of existence and the country became a secular federal republic. Politics has been eventful ever since. As a memorable final detail, Nepal stands alone globally by flying 2 stacked triangular pennants bearing a sun and moon, making it the only sovereign nation without a traditional 4-sided rectangular flag. In the next part, let's listen to the beautiful sounds of their language. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
सबै व्यक्तिहरू जन्मजात स्वतन्त्र हुन्। ती सबैको समान अधिकार र महत्त्व छ। निजहरूमा विचार शक्ति र सद्विचार भएकोले निजहरू आपसमा भातृत्वको भावनाबाट व्यवहार गर्नुपर्छ।
Numbers
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10
Greetings and phrases.
नमस्ते, नमस्कार, दर्शन, शुभ बिहानी, शुभ मध्याह्न, शुभ सन्ध्या, शुभ रात्रि। सन्चै हुनुहुन्छ? म सन्चै, अनि तपाईँ? भेटघाट नभएको धेरै दिन भयो। तपाईको नाम के हो? मेरो नाम हो। तपाईले खाना खाइसक्नुभयो? तपाईँ कहाँबाट हो? म नेपालबाट हो। तपाईलाई भेटेर साह्रै नै खुसी लाग्यो। तपाईँ नेपाली बोल्नुहुन्छ? हो, होइन। धन्यवाद, स्वागत। म तिमीलाई माया गर्छु। मैले बुझे, मैले बुझिन। माफ गर्नुहोस्। कृपया, होला, गर्न सक्छु, गर्न सक्दिन। हस् ल ल।
Vocabulary.
म, त, तिमी, तपाईँ, हजुर, ऊ, उनी, त्यो, हामी, तपाईहरू, उनीहरू, यो, त्यो, यहाँ, उत्या, बा, आमा, हजुरबा, हजुरआमा, भाइ, दाइ, दिदी, बहिनी, छोरा, छोरी, मान्छे, केटा, केटी, साथी, शिक्षक, विद्यार्थी, आँखा, कान, नाक, मुख, दाँत, टाउको, कपाल, अनुहार, हात, खुट्टा, कुकुर, बिरालो, सुँगुर, गाई, भेडा, घोडा, मुसा, कुखुरा, चरा, माछा, फूल, घाँस, रुख, पात, फलफूल, रातो, नीलो, पहेँलो, हरियो, सेतो, कालो, नाम, दिन, राति, वर्ष, घाम, तारा, आगो, पानी, हावा, पृथ्वी, आकाश, सागर, हिमाल, जङ्गल, दाहिने, बाहिने, बिच, अनि, यदि, किनकि, पुरानो, नयाँ, जोअनी, खोला, ढुङ्गा, झ्याल, माम, भात, मोमो, चाउचाउ।
Sample text.
हावा र घाम आपसमा वाद विवाद गरिरहेको थिए। प्रत्येकले आफ्नो नै सबैभन्दा शक्तिशाली भएको दाबी गर्दै। जब उनीहरूले एउटा यात्रुलाई देखे जो आफ्नो कोट लगाएर अगाडि बढिरहेको थियो, उनीहरू सहमत भए कि जसले सबैभन्दा पहिलो यात्रुलाई आफ्नो कोट फुकाल्न लगाउन सक्छ उसलाई सबैभन्दा शक्तिशाली मानिन्छ। त्यसपछि हावाले आफ्नो सम्पूर्ण शक्तिशाली बहन थाल्यो, तर जति धेरै हावा चल्यो त्यति नै यात्रु आफ्नो कोटलाई जिउ वरिपरि कसदै गयो र अन्तिममा हावाले उसलाई कोट फुकाल्न लगाउन प्रयास छोडिदियो। त्यसपछि घाम चम्किन थाल्यो र केही बेरपछि यात्रु गर्मीले हपहप भएपछि आफ्नो कोटको फुकाल्यो। त्यसैले उत्तरको हावा स्वीकार गर्नु पर्यो कि ती दुई मध्ये घाम नै बढी शक्तिशाली थियो।
The Wren.
पहिला एउटा सानो चरा गाडी राख्ने छाप्रोमा गुठ बनाएर बसेको थिए। एक दिन माउ चरा दुवैजना बाहिर आफ्नो बच्चाहरू लागि केही खाना खोजमेल गर्न लागि उडे। उनीहरू बच्चाहरूलाई गुठमै एक्लै छोडेको थिए। केही बेरपछि बाउ चरा घर फर्केर आयो। यहाँ के भयो? उसले भन्यो। बच्चाहरू, तिमीहरूलाई कसले दुःख दियो? तिमीहरू सबै यति धेरै डराएको किन? ए बा, उनीहरूले भने, भर्खरै एउटा ठुलो डरलाग्दो मान्छे यहाँ आयो। ऊ धेरै डरलाग्दो र भयानक देख्थ्यो। उसले आफ्नो ठुला आँखा हाम्रो गुठभित्र हेर्यो। हामी त साह्रै डर्यो। ए हो र, बाउचरेले भन्यो। कता गयो त? त्यो त, उनीहरूले भने, त्यो बाटो गयो। पख, बाउ चराले भन्यो। म त्यसको पछि लाग्छु। अब तिमीहरू नडर भए बच्चाहरू, म त्यसलाई ठिक पार्छु। अनि ऊ त्यसको पछि उड्यो। घुम्टी काटेर अगाडि पुग्दा त्यहाँ बाटोमा सिंह हिँडिरहेको थियो। तर त्यो सानो चरा डरेन। ऊ सिंह ढाड गएर बस्यो अनि उसलाई गाली गर्न थाल्यो। मेरो घरमा आएर मेरो बच्चाहरूलाई किन तर्साको? उसले भन्यो। सिंहले वास्तै गरेन र हिँड्यो। त्यसैले त्यो सानो मुख झन ठुलो स्वरमा सिंहलाई झन कडा कुरा गर्न थाल्यो। त्यहाँ आउने तिम्रो कुनै काम थिएन है, बुझ्यो? अब फेरि यहाँ आयो भने, उसले भन्यो, त्यसपछि त देखिहाल्छौ। म त्यसो गर्न छैन, उसले भन्यो। अनि अन्तिममा आफ्नो एउटा खुट्टा उठाएर भन्यो, तर म एकैछिनमा यहाँ खुट्टा तिम्रो ढाड भाँचिदिन्छु। अनि ऊ फेरि आफ्नो गुठमा गएर भयो। ल बच्चाहरू, उसले भन्यो, मैले त्यसलाई राम्ररी सिकाएछु। अब त्यो फेरि आउँदैन। ढुक्क होस्।
The Lord's Prayer.
हे स्वर्गमा हुनुहुने हाम्रा पिता, तपाईको नाम पवित्र होस्। तपाईको राज्य आओस्। तपाईको इच्छा पूरा होस्, पृथ्वीमा पनि स्वर्गमा जस्तै होस्। आज हामीलाई हाम्रो दैनिक भोजन दिनुहोस् र हाम्रो पापहरू क्षमा गर्नुहोस्, जसरी हामीले पनि क्षमा गर्छौँ हामी विरुद्ध अपराधी गर्नेलाई। र हामीलाई परीक्षा नल्याउनुहोस्, तर दुष्टबाट छुट्टाउनुहोस्। आमेन।